news reporters outside. So I've not vlogged for weeks. I've recorded loads of footage, and what I'll probably do is put it all together in one long thing. I don't know what that was. My phone doesn't make sounds like that. Yeah, when you get out of the habit of vlogging, it's difficult to get back into it. And I hadn't really done much, to be fair. And you can tell that I haven't vlogged for a while because that was zoomed in on my face quite close. So I can't remember where I finished off. So yeah, I'm going to put that together. As I said, news reporters outside. Somebody is calling me. Let's see who it is. Hello, Stewart speaking. Yeah, she already done. I've done that this morning. She emailed me at 8:15 and I emailed her straight back. So I've told him twice, this will be the third time now. Okay. Yeah, okay, alright, brilliant. Alright, thanks, bye. Unprofessionalism. So that is somebody doing a reference check on me who you probably heard spoke to my accountant, who I have given permission to give a reference to twice. Once on Friday, once this morning. The older I get, the grumpier I'm getting about businesses. I don't know if because at a young age I worked for really large organisations where everyone was really professional and there was a level of standard and expectation that was just as a minimum, and I was obviously in positions where I was probably treated with a bit more respect, I guess, and I'm probably used to that. As I was saying, firstly, news reporters outside. There is the local MP lives next door, or next door but one. He's along here somewhere, and he's been investigated, I think, for not declaring his expenses properly. Surprise, surprise. Something to do with the funding around his election, which I probably have a different opinion about a lot of these things. So don't get me wrong, MPs earn a good salary compared to the average person. So I think the average salary is around about 20,000. I think MPs starting about 65,000. But when you look at it compared to business, so the country should be run like a business. It really should. And I don't mean it should be privatised, because I don't understand that either. Why would you privatise something where a company wants to make a profit against running it yourself, where you don't need to make a profit? But I've earned more than the Prime Minister in a year. Which, when you think of that, he's running the country, and I've earned more money than him selling stuff. Yeah, so I know people get into it as a vacation. I accept that, but I can sort of see why sometimes things happen, and why people get corrupted by power and money. Because in the grand scheme of things, there are loads of people in other jobs that get paid more, and these MPs would get paid more if they worked in other organisations. If there was a CEO of a large, well, not even a large, a medium-sized company, some of them could be earning up to £1 million a year, and they only get paid 65 grand. Yeah, controversial, I know, because most people earn far less than they earn and would probably be very, very happy to earn 65,000. Number two, I haven't vlogged a lot. I got out of the habit of editing. And then because I got out of the habit of editing, I then got out of the habit of vlogging. I've got a lot of footage, which I said earlier, I'm going to put it all together and do something today. I should have done it this weekend, so I've had the weekend to myself. Janine's not been here. But you know what? I've done nothing. I'm not really a TV watcher, but I started watching something on Netflix, and I was enjoying it. So I just did that. I'm still in the flat, as you can see. We were meant to have moved out 14 days ago. Paid up again for this month. This flat's actually been sold now. The people that called me earlier, that was about a reference for the property I'm moving into. They called my accountant, who wouldn't give them the reference without speaking to me, even though I had given them permission on Friday and I'd emailed them again this morning. Companies. So hopefully we will be in our new property soon. Number 3, I think that's happened. So I was having pains with my liver, which, if anyone that's watched this for a while, it's been coming and going for a while. And I've had tests, I never got results back for it. Anyway, so I got a phone call from the National Aspergillosis Centre in Manchester from Deborah, one of the head nurses there. And my last blood count showed abnormalities in my liver function. So they switched around my medication a bit, changed dosages on different days. I went and had a ultrasound, of which I was told my liver is beautiful. So ultrasound, not a problem. Had some more blood, came back normal, liver function was normal. The biggest thing is my recovery rate. And I know a big part of that is because I don't do anything. So I really need to get active, and I keep saying that, but I really do need to get active. But so here I had a massive, let me find something, 2 secs. So here, about this size, this was the size of the hole in my lung, right there. And then on this side, I've got one about this size, it's about there. So the one this size, the smaller one, that has a fungal ball in it. And that is what causes me to cough up blood. It eats into my arteries, so the blood I cough up is arterial blood, which is obviously dangerous and you can bleed to death. On this side, this hole was a cavity, and I'd had the cavity for about 2 or 3 years, and on a CT scan at the beginning of this year, this cavity was no more. And what was in the cavity was just white. So that could be fungal growth. It could be cancer. It could be infection, TB, anything like that. Or it could have meant lung scarring, where the lungs collapsed in on itself. So I've had various opinions on this, all differing really. Well, all saying similar things, but also adding on but it could be this. But majority of them saying they believe it's my lung has healed is the wrong word, because your lung cannot heal, which is annoying. Evolution, what happened? Why can my lungs not heal? Liver fine, skin fine, lungs nah. Yeah, so a lot of people I've spoken to don't understand the anatomy of lungs. So they've given me their opinion based on disease, on what it could be from a disease point of view, but then also counteracted with, but you're doing quite well. So if for your lung to look like that and you not to be ill, it didn't really match up. Anyway, he said to me categorically, he is 100% sure it's not fungal growth, because the size of it and how quickly it would have grown, I would be really, really ill. He is saying that because I had a lung embolization where they block off the arteries where the fungus is trying to eat into to stop me bleeding. So those arteries collapse, so no blood supply goes through. He's saying that because of that, the blood supply stopped to a part of my lung. That part of the lung died, it collapsed in on itself, and the white is where it's pulled itself or expanded into that space, which is good news, if it's true. I'm always a little bit skeptical nowadays, and that's probably because I've been given so much bad news over the last 4 or 5 years, that even when you get a cold, you think the worst. Oh, this is it, I've got a cold. I'll be the first human to die of the common cold. So Janine's home. This is the end of the day. Look, it's dark. So this is going to be at the beginning of the vlog, which you will now know. It's at the beginning of the vlog. to introduce all of the footage I've captured over the last 2 weeks, even though it's the end of the day. I wonder what the footage is going to look like. Do I say goodnight? Because it's the end of the day, but this is going on first. Enjoy the vlog. Viewed that property. It was okay, it wasn't brilliant, it was alright. And then, right at the end, I went into the garden. And then within 10 seconds, my ears blocked up. So my ears tend to block up. For those of you that watched the vlog before, you know, but for those that don't, I've got a few chronic illnesses. I've got a weakened immune system, all exciting stuff. And my ears block up if I'm near fungal spores. And fungal spores can grow on any, well, probably can grow on anything, to be honest. And I've got fungus growing in my lungs, not fungi, growing in my lungs. Mushrooms. I've got mushrooms in my lungs. Yeah, so I think, well, I've come to the conclusion, because it's happened a few times in some properties we've looked at. I know dust does it, and I know dust, a lot of dust obviously is skin, but a lot of it is fungal spores in houses. So there's, what is going on here? That's a traffic jam. Yeah, so I've noticed it happens a lot when I'm on decking. So wooden decking, obviously a prime breeding ground for anything like that really. So obviously mildew, moss, green moss, algae, all that type of stuff, because it's just wood, and if it's not maintained or kept right, it's a dead tree, which is exactly what fungi would be wanting to grow on. Plus it's decking, so it's flat, water on there, which is what it obviously needs. If it's not in the sun long enough, it won't dry out, so it's probably always damp. Damp obviously leads to, well, we all know we get mould in your house if you've got damp on your walls and all that type of stuff, on your windows. Anyway, short story, house made me ill. So we're meant to move out of this flat in 3 days, still got nowhere to live. So there's all that. And I've been ill. I've caught a chest infection, or a cough at least. And then, for those that watched this vlog from the beginning, you will probably remember that I was saying about liver pain. So this liver pain's never gone. I went to the doctors, had some tests, never got the results of the tests, tried chasing them up, and the receptionist was like, well, if there was a problem they would have called you. Okay. Well, I got called. So I was in Manchester last 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Manchester Hospital. So I go to Wythenshawe Hospital, I go to the National Aspergillosis Centre, and they just take obviously routine blood tests. Ooh, wonder who that is.
See you soon, bye.
What did I get to? So, yeah. So I had this liver pain for months now. It's always there, it's never gone. Oh, phone call. That was about going to view another property. And then basically the tenant that's in there doesn't want people to come round. When I rent a property, I'm so nice. Like, yeah, sure, come round, not a problem. I've noticed everyone else is a complete and utter. It's my liver. So I've had this liver pain for ages, and it just got to the point I just thought, whatever, I just live with it. So Wythenshawe Hospital called me, and they were concerned about some of my blood tests, because the reading on my liver function was high. I guess it must have been the enzymes or something. Something like that. I don't fully understand. So they want to change my medication. So the medication I'm on, I think I could be wrong, but I think the #1 side effect is relating to your liver. Well, that's a lie. Severe side effect. So the side effect that is potentially dangerous is relating to your liver. Yeah, so I've got to change my dosage. I can already predict what will happen because I've had the liver pain for so long. It's not like it's just like a one-off random blood test, because I know I've had this pain. I can't. Sometimes I can't even rest my arm across my stomach where my liver is, or my abdomen, should I say, where my liver is. So I know it's going to happen. They're going to have to take me off the medication. I know that. The problem is I don't know how many other options they've really got after this in medication. So two of the other medications I've had severe allergic reactions to ended up in an ambulance, which is scary and also fun. It's, and you also get to the front of the queue in A&E. That's not a tip, don't bring ambulances. Unless you need an ambulance, then call an ambulance. Yeah, so I'm not sure is the question or the answer, the statement. Anyway, all of this and the fact that I've got this chest pain, I just felt rubbish. Just felt really, really deflated and unmotivated, and I've literally just done hardly anything, just laying on my bed. Yeah, and then obviously the more you land on your bed, the more you think about it. And I'm rambling, and these rambles probably are really boring to watch. My breathing's getting a lot worse. I get out of breath really, really easily now. I can actually feel it. I can feel how out of breath I am. Yeah, great fun. But in other news, I'm taking my car for a service. Bloody car. It's a Friday. I've got an appointment tonight at the hospital as well. They're probably going to keep the car in all weekend because that's just the way it goes with my car. Good morning. After getting 4 parking tickets in about 6 days, so my car's not there today, and I can see that the traffic wardens are obviously a little bit confused. They don't know what to do. They're walking around on the phone asking they were ringing head office going, what do we do? Car's not there. Missed target today. Where would you like the bag?
That's what I need you to sign.
You need me to sign?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's 2 sheets of paper.
Okay. Hold this. What, these?
Yeah.
Or this?
Both sheets of spare paper.
So off to the doctor's, which is always fun and is always late. How late do you reckon it's going to be?
I'm going to say 45 minutes.
Yeah, probably. And I think, if I remember, I don't really get reception in there, which makes it even more boring. What do people do before phones?
At least you get to play games.
Read newspapers. Yeah. I don't think I've deleted most of my games off the phone.
Why would you do such a thing?
Or they need internet connection to work. Right.
Oh yeah, education.
Janine's picking me up. Oh. How was work, Janine?
Not over.
What have you eaten? KFC?
No.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
I'm not sure they can see me. We're going to get my car.
Yeah. Shit.
Give way, son.
Yeah.
Doctors are confusing. In short, it keeps telling me that I need to be getting fit again, because obviously I'm out of breath a lot, and a part of that is down to fitness. I've lost lung function. I've lost lung capacity. Loads of stuff. I'm not going to bore you with it. If you're in another house tomorrow, I can see blue flashing lights. Let's have a look. I think I missed them. I can still hear them. So only one house to look at tomorrow, which is a little bit annoying. We're meant to be moving out of here on the 1st. It's probably not going to happen. Maybe we're going to have to squat. Oh. And no parking ticket today. So I've got a slight problem. Yesterday when I picked my car up from the garage, obviously my car key's not on the, well, it's not with my house keys because you give them obviously your car key. When I got out the car, came to the door, didn't have the keys, Janine let me in. Janine's now not here, and I've gone to leave, and you have to use your house keys to lock this door, otherwise it just pushes open. I haven't got them. So I'm hoping, massively hoping, that they are in the car. Oh. Well, I was told to get more exercise, and a flight of stairs for me is exercise. So I'm in my mobile office, just eaten, dropped some food off to Janine, and outside the office, it must be because of the heat of me, I'm surrounded by mosquitoes. And I mean surrounded. As soon as I say that, they're gone. But there's been loads here. Do we normally have mosquitoes in October? I'm not sure we do. So back from the office. So yesterday, I obviously said about we was going to look at some houses. This is like my new place to lean and talk. Yes, yesterday I said about going to see some houses. We didn't go because they were cancelled, which is starting to become really, really annoying. The fact of how unprofessional, really, some people are. So basically it was cancelled because in both houses the tenants wouldn't give access. Like, this is happening a lot. Like, nearly every house we want to go and see, it happens to. Are all tenants just... I don't think we've ever in a property been like that. Like, ever. Why would you? Unless you've got something to hide. Like you've damaged something, you've not told them, or you live like a tramp. It's weird. Really is weird. God knows what we're going to do. Our plan is now to just get somewhere that is good enough for us. save up and buy, which I think I've mentioned before for those that have looked at previous vlogs. So I bought my first house when I was 21, and I owned property up until I was 26. Yeah, 27, late 20s. And then I didn't own. I lived in London, which is one of the reasons. And I didn't. I won't bore everybody. There is an equation basically that works out whether you're better off owning or renting. And based on this equation, over the last 150 years, there was only been a 7-year period where you'd actually make more money from owning your property against renting it. And that 7-year period is when I owned a property, which is when everybody made a stupid amount of money owning properties just before the bubble burst. And what it looks at is based on how much you spend on a property, your mortgage repayments and everything you do. So rare is probably the wrong word, but majority, I'll probably say, majority of people that buy a property, you buy a house or a flat or something and you do it up, you invest in your property, and you don't really think of that sort of money. And I did it, both properties that I owned. And you've got all the extra insurances, something breaks, you've got to fix it. All these things, when you add it up over a 25-year period, on this equation, compared to, say, somebody that saves, and if they put their money just in a normal tracker tracking the stock market, what would you be better off in 25 years' time? And in the 150-year period that they looked at this, apart from the 7-year period where I owned a property, you actually were better off financially not owning a property. There's a lot more that goes into it, and I won't go into it because it is quite boring. I'm a little bit nerdy, and I like maths and I like things like that. And it's just quite an interesting thing to do. But the older I'm getting, I think less about money and more about a home. So when I bought a house when I was 21, it was an investment to make money, basically. Whereas now I just want a home. And the little things like, for instance, you're renting now, if the fridge breaks, well, I've not got to pay for it. Or the cooker breaks, I haven't got to pay for it. And if it's something I've physically broken myself, normal wear and tear, I haven't got to pay for. And so a lot of people that do this, you've got a lot of multi-millionaires and billionaires that do this, actually lease their property. And then if they want don't like decor, they move. So instead of spending money to decorate, I'll just move. I'll move into something that looks like I like. But yeah, now the older I'm getting, the more I'm thinking, have a home, because it's a home. So yeah, we've decided to save over the next sort of 12 months or so. But it would be nice to have somewhere before then. Homes. I've moved so many times, I need to count how many places I've lived. So, I've just seen a mosquito in the bedroom. So I've turned the light off in here, so now it's dark in here. Oh yeah, it's reflecting, trust me, it's dark in here. So it goes out, so I can see it leave the door. Why is there so many mosquitoes at the moment? Oh, you can see it's dark in there behind me. Yeah, but loads of mosquitoes. Cannot stand mosquitoes. Anything smaller than a moth, don't like them.